The Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea. Is this 2000 direct-to-video sequel to the 1989 classic really that bad? Or can I give this film some good old-fashioned Big D justice? Well, I can't guarantee you that, but for now, here's my review of it. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2000 direct-to-video animated musical fantasy adventure flick, The Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea, released by Disney, produced by Walt Disney Television Animation, and the second overall installment of a trilogy. Directed by Jim Camerud and Brian Smith, the story of the film takes place 12 years after the original and it focuses on Ariel and Eric's daughter Melody, a human princess who longs to swim in the ocean despite her parents' law that the sea is forbidden to her. Now, most of the voice acting cast from the original movie is back, including Jodi Benson, Kenneth Mars, Samuel E. Wright, and Buddy Hackett in his final film before his death in 2003. This came out on video September 19th, 2000. Oh yes, Pat Carroll is back, this time voicing Ursula's sister Morgana, the sequel's new villainess. Tara Strong, who went under the name of Tara Sherendoff, is in this cast as well, plus Rob Paulsen and a host of others. While the film was heavily dissed in my view, it still got a little bit of reasonable response. Anyway, I'm not really going to give the whole story away though. 2 years after they got married and Ursula's demise, Ariel and Eric celebrate the birth of their daughter Melody on a ship at sea. Ariel's father, King Triton, presents Melody with a magic locket, but the party is interrupted by Morgana, Ursula's sister, who threatens to have Melody fed to her pet tiger shark Undertow, unless Triton surrenders his trident to her. Morgana then announces her plan to use the trident to avenge Ursula and take over the ocean. Ariel and Eric work together to foil Morgana's plan, and Triton shrinks Undertow to the size of a piranha. Morgana escapes, eluding the attempts of King Triton's forces to capture her and declaring that she will someday exact her revenge on both Ariel and Triton and avenge her sister's death. Fearing Morgana and remembering Ursula, Ariel decides that until Morgana is captured, they will have to withhold all knowledge of the sea world and her heritage from Melody in order to protect her. Triton tosses the lock into the ocean, and a massive wall is built to separate the royal castle from the sea. And Triton assigns Sebastian to watch over Melody. 12 years later, Melody remains unaware of her mother's mermaid heritage and is forbidden from ever going into the sea. However, she's been sneaking out of the castle regularly to swim, and one day finds the locket. Seeing her name on the locket, Melody questions her mother about it, but Ariel confronts her and forbids her to go into the sea. Frustrated by this, Melody steals a small boat and sails away from home, and is discovered by Undertow, who leads her straight to Morgana. In desperation, Sebastian tells Ariel and Eric that Melody went out to sea. But meanwhile, Melody has already met with Morgana, who reveals that Melody's background is marine and uses the remains of Ursula's magic to transform Melody into a mermaid. King Triton prepares search parties and is convinced by Ariel and Eric to use his trident to transform Ariel back into a mermaid in order to help in the search for Melody. Ariel searches for for Melody in the sea, regretting not sharing her heritage with her, while Melody explores her newfound abilities as a mermaid and has a strong feeling that she was meant to be part of the sea. Now, that's all the story I'm going to give to you. I will not give the whole story away and what have you. Now, I will tell you along the way, she does meet, well, a few new friends in the form of Tip and Dash, a penguin and walrus duo who are absolutely really funny and what have you. But for now, I might as well give you my thoughts on them. The Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea. Well, it's not as good as its predecessor, to be honest. I do agree that critics didn't like it and what have you. This film's ranked at 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, and total film 11 years after, well, just about 11 years after it was released, total film ranked it as the 27th among the 50 worst children's films ever made. Unlike the film, and even her mother Ariel, for whom the latter was generally mixed, Melody, the main character, was generally well received by both critics and fans of the original itself, who praised her emotional relationship with Ariel, the character growth, likability, and Tara Strong's performance. And Screen Rant in 2019 put her at number 9 on Disney's unofficial princesses ranking. Incredible. And according to Tara Strong, she reveals that Melody was one of her favorite characters to voice and was a big fan of the 1989 film. Now, of course, Strong was already well known at the time for voicing Bubbles on Cartoon Network's The Powerpuff Girls at the time. Yep. Nevertheless, despite the film got dissed, it was the 10th most successful direct-to-video release of 2000. And would go on to sell 6 million VHS and DVD units that year. It, of course, also had a soundtrack, featured some pretty good songs. Let me see here. Yeah. And it has, and well, the songs, I gotta give it credit for what it had to offer, including Down to the Sea, which that was a pretty good song. Tip and Dash's song was pretty good in ways. But I gotta give it credit for the new version of Part of Your World, which you hear at the end credits, which was performed by country star Shelley Wright, who had previously scored a Billboard country singles #1 song with the title track of her fourth album, Single White Female. Yes. And another version of the song, performed by Anne-Marie Boscovich, was used in some international releases of the film Part of Your World, as a matter of fact. Danny Troop did the score, and it was alright and what have you. But some of the songs weren't bad. Now, aside from our voice acting, aside from Tara Strong doing Melody, we have Jodi Benson back as Ariel. She's still good. Samuel E. Wright once again voices Sebastian, and Kenneth Mars once again does King Triton. And Buddy Hackett does Scuttle in his final film performance. Pat Carroll voices Morgana. She's not quite as good as Ursula. No, but she tries to come pretty close though. Again, and like I didn't get a chance to tell you to watch my review of the first film, but you'll probably already see the card already at the beginning of the vid. So, oh yes, which of course I respectfully dedicated the my re-review of the first film in memory of her and Samuel E. Wright, since they recently passed away. Next, we have couple of couple of new characters. Mhm. Well, now voicing the characters of Tip and Dash, Tip was voiced by Max Casella. Of course, you may remember him best for playing in, Vinny on Doogie Howser MD. And of course, he later go on to voice Daxter in the Jack and Daxter video games. Voicing Dash is Stephen Furst, who you mostly will remember him as Dorfman from National Lampoon's Animal House and Dr. Axelrod from TV's Saint Elsewhere. So they were free flying, what have you. Rob Paulson takes over the role of Eric. He was fine. Voicing Undertow is Clancy Brown, who, of course, was already voicing Mr. Krabs on Nickelodeon's SpongeBob SquarePants at the time. Cam Clark, who recently lent his voice to Leonardo and Rocksteady from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles tune, voices Flounder in this film. Now, we also have K.E. Cutter taking over the role of Grimsby since Ben Wright passed away. Voice guy Frank Welker does the vocal effects for Eric's sheepdog, Max. D. Bradley Baker, who's done numerous voices, well, Morgana's other fiends of manta rays, Cloak and Dagger. Now, two other voices from the original are back. There's the late Rene Auberjonois as Chef Louis, who, yes, you guess it, goes after Sebastian again, and and of course, um, the character of Carla is back once again, voiced by E. McClurg. So anyway, from what I've seen, The Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea is okay, but it's not great though. So with everything said, it does have a few pretty good songs, a fairly okay score, and the story, that's one thing I forgot to point out. It's kind of like a little bit of an opposite of its predecessor and what have you. So yeah, that's okay too. But most of the voice cast was still pretty good though. So overall, would I recommend this film? Well, only if you are a hardcore completionist of The Little Mermaid, then I'd say give it a one-time watch. But if you're not into this, if you don't think this film's right for you, then avoid it. So, in other words, it's a draw between a one-time watch or avoid it. So that's all I'm going to tell you. So, what did you think of The Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of the other direct-to-video Little Mermaid film, and it's the prequel, Ariel's Beginning. So, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, you may want to check out some of my reviews for these other Disney animated films. In the upper left hand corner is my review of the original Aladdin from 1992. The upper right hand corner is my review that of a film that came out after the original Little Mermaid, and that was Beauty and the Beast, which this is a re-review. Or if you'd like another mermaid flick, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of a mermaid flick that has definitely become a guilty pleasure of mine, Aquamarine from 2006. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.